See if I can get the sound. Come on. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. All right, give me a few minutes or a minute or so. Oh, it's hot in here. Fuck. So I have dogs in the other room. I hope they don't start barking. I'm dog sitting. Come on. So how you guys doing? There's three of you. Yeah, I didn't put a short up. I didn't put in the community page. This was going to be at 6, as was last night's, as was the nights before. Life gets in the way, huh? Actually, you might be watching now with the sun. A friend of mine yesterday had some sort of a heat stroke. Let's just say got too hot, passed out, fell, and went to the emergency room yesterday afternoon down in Waldron. Waldron is a sit down. Waldron is a place that's between here and Hot Spring. Well, not between. Um, it's south down the 71 highway. There's nothing in the town. I used to live down close to there. Anyway, they have an emergency room down there, and he waited 2 hours, hour and a half or something. They didn't even see him. He fell after he had the heat exhaustion, whatever, and ended up puncturing his lung and breaking or fracturing ribs. I don't know if that's confirmed yet. So last night I was in the ER all night till this morning, and when we left, the doctor told him that he didn't have a punctured lung, didn't have any broken or fractured ribs, which I thought was crazy because even I can tell that there was a problem. I've been around people who broke their ribs before. So, and the way he was breathing, I thought maybe there was a lung problem. Well, after we get home, a couple hours later, the hospital calls and says that he punctured a lung and I think broke or fractured ribs. So, one of his family members, his daughter-in-law, brought him up to Fort Smith, and he has dogs, and I took the two dogs for the night. And they've been good, but I know they were like tripping out right now, like that they weren't going home. And I had them in here, but one of them was getting a little nuts, and I put them to bed. So we'll see if they start barking here in a minute. Anyway, Brad, what's going on, buddy? Okay. So how you doing, Brad? Hey, Brad. You didn't. I don't know if that's a term over there. I was going to say you burned bread on me. We're not going to get into that right now. Um, when we talked last, you asked me something, and I'm like, what? Yeah. Uh, a few little mishaps. Put it that way. But I'm good. I'm good. I'll get into that. I'm going to probably do a video. I have to. There's a couple reasons why I'm not getting into all of it, but I'm damn sure going to. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a couple guys earlier, and they're like, "Dude, you gotta say a few things anyway." So, Brad, how are you? Otherwise, back from walking your dog. So, what was it? 2 weeks ago? Damn, who knows? I think it was 2 weeks ago. I had a dog lined up, ready to roll. A hound type of dog, like a hound dog, like a bird dog, and I didn't because my schedule's erratic, and because I do have an interview to do in August, but I am 99% sure I'm canceling on that right now. Um, but anyway, Asta, what's good, bud? Not much. I got some Benny tapes I'm gonna play. Brad, do you know about Benny? I'm not sure. You know what? And really, this is like a New York guy thing. Most of the guys from New York, so this will be watched over tomorrow and stuff. Um, we were trying to do a live last night. I had to go to the emergency room. Today, we decided to do a recording because when he did a live last time, the static was so bad. The recording came out pretty good, so we'll see how it's going to be. But Benny Geritano in true fashion. Yeah, no, there was a guy that from New York, one of the mob type guys that used to come on um, from prison and just kind of like give everybody hell, kind of. So it's been a while. I had him on last month or something like that, and the tape sucked. Was it a month ago now? In a couple weeks at least, but the tape sucked. But this one came out good. That's all. That's what this is about. But yeah. Anyway, let's say Spirit of New Orleans. I don't own these two dogs. Okay, these are my friends' dogs, and I'm just watching them. I mean, so a couple years ago, I took a picture of them. I think it was I watched them for New Year's 2 years ago. Yeah, but anyway. All right, let's see. I'm gonna get on here in just a second. I was just trying to see if a few people showed up. Like I said, when I put Benny Geritano in the title, that really does attract. Yes, yeah. You can never understand him. We'll see. We'll see if this is clear. Okay. So, in a nutshell, here's the deal with Benny. I did time with Benny, 5 years. Benny Geritano is grew up mob guys all around him. The government calls him a Gambino associate. I'm not sure why he never got made or what the deal was, but um, he's he's turned on a lot of the mob guys. Um, a lot of them wanted him off the street. That's true. He's like a one man mafia. Some people will push back, but whatever. But he's entertaining. He's been in prison a while now. Claims he's totally innocent. Has some good arguments. He addresses some people that say he's not innocent. But this is what you will be able to understand, Brad. You will be able to understand a guy that's been in prison a long time in the law library. Okay. So, like today when I did this really wasn't an interview. I just said, go. And, he starts going. So, it is true that a lot of people outside of New York won't understand what he's talking about. But for all intents and purposes, he believes that members of the mafia, Stevie Mad Dog, I hate to bring that up because I know his attorney, but that's a Gambino high ranking guy. He believes or says that these guys work with cops to put him in prison. Those old interviews are still up. He will, I'm sure, get into it. He's sending me like 81 pages right now, documents. This guy's a rat. This guy cooperated. This guy did this. So there's a bunch of stuff. This is the drama side of stuff. Anyway, it's entertaining. And a lot of the New York guys, I know for a fact, there's guys in the mafia that sit around social clubs listening to this stuff. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. Let's get a screw it. There's not going to be too many. This is going to. Let's see if it comes out like I'm hoping it will, and I will. Somebody. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it, bro. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it, Brad. I do believe this is going to turn out. Cross fingers. This will at least turn out good. And like I said, well, if people pop up or people want to ask questions and want to talk about other stuff, that's great. Okay. Yeah. So he's going hard on that Spirit of New Orleans. Um, and you'll see. Let's just do this. It's a 15-minute recording. Again, I apologize to people that don't really know about Benny. And like I said, it's late on the East Coast on the weekday. I've had guys in New York complain before about me doing live so late. I get it. This will, like I said, be recorded, and there'll be people watching tomorrow. He always does pretty good with the views, actually. So, no further to do. Let's get going. I sound so stupid. Tell me if you guys. Somebody say yes or no. What's it sound like? Can't wait. Hold on. Shit. Are you kidding me? Hold on, guys. Are you kidding me? Oh man, what did I do last time that made him clear? I didn't expect this. Man, what did I do last time that made him clear? Oh shit. Okay, so but wait, stop. This just got going. Hold on. Sound is terrible. Can't hear it. Where is that? Okay, so you're saying the Ouija is backwards. What are you saying? Should I be holding the phone this way or this way? Somebody tell me real quick. It's not even a minute into it, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's important because it is clear. What the, what did I do last time? I think there was a microphone put in the phone. Somebody tell me, which way does it go? Let's see. I didn't expect this at all. Somebody tell me. Okay, hold on one second. You know what? I think I have a little mic thing here. Oh, the camera doesn't get screwed up now. Hold on. Sorry. Maybe. These mics? Nope. Shit. Uh, let's see. This is what I need. I do remember now. Person that I knew a long time ago did something with this in my phone. Sorry, guys. On a different note, Epstein. Should what's her name get immunity? Should she get immunity for spilling the beans on the Epstein stuff, which is never all going to come out because there's too many important people, by the way. Rob is like MacGyver. Rob, we never heard one word. I got you. We're going to go back. We're going to try it. Okay. Uh, by the way, this is a good time. You want to donate to Convict Inc? Donate to Convict Inc, please. And maybe I'll get a microphone. I do have my bills paid. Uh, shit. Rob is like MacGyver. No, this is what I have. You see these wires like this? I have a basket this big of stuff. That's what it is. From the last so many years, I don't know what's what. Okay. No, that's a microphone. How? Somebody tell me. Can't hear nothing. Can't hear nothing. Can't hear nothing. How's the Ouija mutt running? What? How's this Ouija mutt running down scars? I'm not sure what you're saying. Ouija is backwards, Rob. Okay. Ouija, whatever. So it's that way. That's where the. I guess that's where the hearing the microphone is on the phone. That's what you're telling me. Let's try this one more time. Let me try a little. This sucks. Stand over right now. Just start recording. Go. So the reason I'm calling you and I'm going to send you the documentation I am is because you want to. Okay, hold the speaker. Okay, somebody's telling me right now. I'm ready. Hold the speaker. Hold the speaker from the bottom of your phone to the mic, not the middle. That's the front or back. It's the top button. The speaker of the phone is at the bottom. Hold the speaker from the bottom of your phone. Oh, okay, like this. That's what you're saying. Okay, let's try this. I really don't know that, to be honest. Okay, let's try. Obviously, right? Back.
I have had multiple conversations where these rats on the street
I'm gonna go
don't
back.
want to see me home, and I love rats, and then mom is.
I'm gonna go back. There we go. Right there we go. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. And please, somebody to say yes, it's good if it's going. Okay. By the way, Jeffy, thank you, bro. You might have saved the show. You might have. I don't know. We'll see. Wait, stop. Say that over right now. Just start a recording. Go.
Okay, so the reason that I'm calling you and I'm going to send you the documentation I am is because you and I have had multiple conversations where these rats on the street that don't want to see me home and I love rats, and then mob ass cases, they call you and say, Benny's guilty, and Benny did this, and Benny did that, and Benny did this. And you know what? Nothing that they say is substantiated by fact or evidence or anything. It's just hate and jealousy and hate. So what I did was I wrote 81 pages of facts pertaining to this case from the very beginning, from the moment of inception. 81 pages I hand wrote, substantiated by constitutional law, statutory law, regulatory case law, and in addendum to it, I am attaching 47 exhibits. 47 exhibits that the prosecutors and my attorneys withheld from me during the courses of these court proceedings and the state case and the federal parole violation for the state case for San Benunzio Fusco. These exhibits are counterfeit documentation from local law enforcement divisions such as U.S. Probation and the New York Police Department. I have discovery that was withheld from me for 11 and a half years, such as a warrant. I was arrested and taken into custody illegally at the Office of U.S. Probation under on this counterfeit warrant under the guise or the geese, however you want to pronounce it, that I was being taken into custody by federal probation officers. So there are no transcripts in any of the court or state or federal court proceedings that mention this warrant. I'm actually sending you a copy of the probation officer's violation of supervised release report. Never even mentions the warrant. The warrant's not mentioned in any of the federal probation hearing proceedings. The attorneys, while they were supposed to be defending my rights, they were facilitating for the prosecutors. So what went on here, Rob, and we're going to prove it to your viewers and everyone else in the world, right, with documentary evidence, conclusive documentary evidence, is that the New York State prosecutors and federal prosecutors, they suborned the perjury that was put forth in the accusatory instruments. They concealed, tampered with physical evidence drawn up by prosecutors. Tampered with physical evidence is a felony. When prosecutors or officers of the law falsify official business records, that's a felony. When they tamper with it in New York State, it becomes a felony. I was discriminated against in the practice of law. You see, a very rich, wealthy Jew by the name of Harry Shasho was identified for this crime twice. Harry Shasho, as we know, has contracts with local law enforcement division. People have been saying for years he's an informant for the local authorities and district attorney's office. Well, you know what? I really, I had to take the blinders off on a lot of this stuff, so everybody else can take the blinders off too. Right? Here you are. You have a man who was identified for the stabbing twice by the eyewitness. You have a man who was identified as taking a part of the attack on him from the victim. You have the man who was identified in a video from a New York City police lieutenant sending police officers on a wild goose chase, telling them that the perpetrator of the crime ran down the street. This same individual is accused by prosecutors in their sworn affirmation to the local court that this man broke into the club and stole the DVR system with the recordings of the fight and the discs on it. This man was never charged for a crime. Everything that I just told you that he committed, that they claim he committed, is a felony. Never charged for a crime, never put in a photo array, never put in a lineup. Here I am, I'm an individual who was never pointed out for the crime, never accused of committing the crime, yet they got my attorneys to help them prosecute me. Now, I don't know if it was all done because of Harry Shasho's value to these local law enforcement.
Do you have proof of that? Do you have proof of Harry?
Oh, yeah, everything I'm going to show you is proof.
Okay.
Everything I'm going to show you is proof. I'm sending you 47 exhibits, court transcripts.
Okay.
The police officer testified that the eyewitness, Fusco's girlfriend, now wife, pointed at the guy out in the white shirt. The New York City police lieutenant said the guy in the white shirt, who is identified as Harry Shasho, misinformed them, gave them misinformation. Go down the street that way. That's where the guy ran. Broke into the club, according to the prosecutors, and stole the crime scene evidence. This man was never put in a photo array, never put in a lineup, never charged with anything. I was never, ever identified for anything. Listen, the video clip that they show, that people see in the New York Post, with me in the vestibule, do you know what that portion of the tape depicts me possibly committing 2 misdemeanor crimes. Criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree and menacing in the 3rd degree. Okay? Now, that's without mens rea. I mean, you know, of course, if there was mens rea or actus rea. Yeah. But if you play that video in slow motion, and Harry has that video, you will see me getting pushed into that video by Nunzio Fusco's girlfriend's friend, Tamara Lee. So therefore, if I'm not charging into the vestibule as...
This call is from a federal prison.
From the very beginning, if I'm not charging in the vestibule to stab the man, that means I don't have the mens rea to commit a crime. That means I didn't commit no actus rea. So you have to know that you have intent to commit a crime in order for you to commit a crime. If someone pushes you into an area, they can't say, oh, no, that's you committed a crime. So my attorneys would never mention these things. And at the time, I was going through a lot of personal stuff on the street. I think they're not turning over any discovery. They're not giving me any creating internal problems with my brother and my mother. Never a moment's peace. You can't think. Your attorney's not giving you a grand jury. I found out that they had a 3rd grand jury witness testify. Now, they don't want to release the grand jury testimony to me. What they're doing is they're hiding perjured testimony from the grand jury. Now, that could be either the parole officer, it could be either the prosecutor who's supposed to find the complaint, the assistant district attorney, it could be somebody from the Kings County Warrants Division, which is Harry Shasho's friend, the people that came to parole to arrest me with the detective on the counterfeit warrant. I mean, there is law here that these people violated. You understand? United States versus Mendenhall, the courts make a test to determine if a seizure was done illegally. The United States 4th Amendment, the 4th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution says no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause unless it's supported by oath and affirmation. I have a letter from the United States District Court saying that there are no warrant affidavits on this case. So if there's no warrant affidavits on the case, how'd you obtain the warrant? Who applied for the warrant? Where did the warrant come from? Well, it's an old warrant from the stabbing in 2011 when I had the incident with the pizza guy. They re-stamped it and they utilized that to take me into custody illegally and to prosecute. They violated my rights under the Fourth Amendment. Not only under the Fourth Amendment, the New York State Constitution, Article 1, Section 12. Every state has their own individual constitutional rights, right? So, I want to say something to you, Rob.
Go ahead.
Nowhere in
Still
the
struggling. I got you.
Declaration of Independence, or for that matter, in the Federalist or in any other writing of the founding fathers, can one find a single utterance that can justify a decision by an oath-holding servant of the law to look the other way when confronted with the real possibility of being complicit in the wrongful use of false evidence to secure a conviction in a court of law. And that's what they did in my case, pal. But that's what they did in my case. And I'm going to tell all your readers this, too. There is a judge who used to hold court in New York State. His name was Honorable Judge Full. In People versus Donovan, he said the worst criminal, the most culpable individual is as much entitled to the benefit of the rule of law as the most blameless member of society. And to disregard violation or the rule because there is proof in the record to persuade us of a defendant's guilt would endanger the rights of those who are innocent. In the record, in this case, there is no proof of my guilt. No one says I committed the crime. No one says they see me commit the crime. No one says they seen a knife in my hand at the time of the stabbing inside the club at the bar when the crime was committed by Harry Shasso, because that's who Cindy Mustafa, Nunzio Fosco's wife, identified. Harry Shasso. She told the police, he's the guy who stabbed my boyfriend. Harry wrote a statement. Harry said in his statement that in Cindy Mustafa's excited utterance, which I break down the rule of law on an excited utterance in the paperwork that I'm sending to you, okay, that this individual woman told the police that this man stabbed her boyfriend at the time, who's now her husband. And the police knew Harry. They didn't put him in handcuffs. They patted him down. They let him go. He had no knife. He had no nothing. 5 days later, there was a lineup, a photo array. The girl identified him again at the photo array on the 28th, 5 days after the incident. The police officer told her, I'm not taking a statement from you. New York City detective who is being given a positive description of an assailant, a culprit of a
Thank you,
crime,
Jeff.
tell an eyewitness to the crime, I'm not taking your statement. You're not taking your statement because you don't want a statement identifying an informant that is valuable to you people. You don't want that statement. So what you want to do is you want to put that statement to the side. We're not going to take the statement from this woman.
This call is from a federal prison.
And we're going to accuse the guy who's standing next to him. The guy who's the convicted felon on federal parole, the guy who once had ties to these douchebag organized crime individuals. And that's the reason why. Because when they mention organized crime, it creates a media frenzy. Yeah. And in my case, if you look at the media, if you look at all the stuff, I had a prosecutor who has a media fetish. Okay? This woman wanted to have her name in every fucking newspaper that she could have. And this lady has no problem breaking the law, suborning perjury, using false information, destroying, exculpating evidence in favor of the accused. And not just in my case, I've met other individuals during the course of these prosecutions who this woman prosecuted. And it's just ironic. Every time my name is mentioned, there's some type of evidence being destroyed, marshaled, altered. It's amazing. So,
Thank you, Mike.
Yep. There's nothing to lose. Well, he's trying to get in jail. Well, let me tell you what I do have to gain. I will have a violent felony conviction removed from my record and my rap sheet. One that was obtained illegally and in violation of the rule of law. And according to Judge Phil, even the most culpable individual, I'm not the most culpable. Prior to these false arrests and these malicious prosecutions that I've been in prison on for the last 13 years, the New York State Supreme Court deemed me people off, raping people, molesting children. They're getting home because half the time that I was half the time that got me. I'm not the most culpable individual, and yet they denied me the rule of law. I'm entitled to it, and I'm tired of people saying, oh, but he was convicted, and he was this. With the representation that I had, because my attorneys were facilitating for the prosecutors, they could have accused me of being Joseph Stalin, and I would have been found guilty.
Yeah.
My attorneys put up no adversarial test for these prosecutors. They called no witnesses. You know what my attorney called? My attorney called the police officer. When he called the police officer,
now it's fucked.
The police officer on the complaint that was utilized
Now
to
it's
bring
fucked.
this case into court. It's called a felony complaint in the state of New York. The felony complaint says that Mr. Fusco told the opponent who was a detective that he said no, he said. Right? When the detective testified, he goes, no one ever said that.
Now it's gonna get fucked.
He never fucking pulled out the paper.
It's almost over.
Listen, your phone's getting really, really bad and static.
I know. We have this problem in the facility. This morning I brought it to AW Finance.
Now less than a minute.
We're on the phone with our families.
It doesn't matter here. It's over with the other stuff. Okay, listen. Okay, number one. You know what? You said something about Bluetooth. I just got a little Bluetooth speaker. That's what I needed to do. That's why I was looking around the room. Man, my mom literally came over here 3 days ago. She's giving away a lot of stuff, and I don't like that, by the way. She's clearing out her house. I just don't. Anyway, she brought a Bluetooth speaker over. That's what I have to do. Fuck, man. That's exactly it. So I was just getting ready to write this down, Jeff, about, what'd you put? You put down, yeah. Where's it at? They have a sub speaker for like $30. So there's this little thing. It's like this big. It's like, I'm trying to find something. Oh, it's almost like a snuff can. That's what it's like. It's almost this big, just a little bit wider. I have it here somewhere. It's going to work perfect. That's what I've got to do. I've got to get this Benny stuff right. So listen, guys, look, Mike, thank you, by the way, Mike DeBella. And I did tell Benny, I did not give him the number. I actually, oh no, I did. I texted it to him. Okay. But here's the deal. My channel is still, way out of balance. Well, it's like over 60% New York guys, right? So even though some of the New York guys I can tell who watches what. I don't go to every video and look like that, but it just depends. So sometimes I'll go back and look and see the analytics and all that other stuff, right? So the Benny stuff, a lot of the guys from New York want to hear. You've got the active guys that cringe. You've got the mob haters that cheer him on. But at the end of the day, this guy's my friend, okay? Now, I will tell you straight up, I understand his case to a point. There's a lot of guys out there that know exactly what he's talking about. When he starts talking about the videos in the New York Post and stuff like that, I swear I've never even seen them all, okay? Okay. So I'm giving him a platform. He's entertaining, but you can see, so people that have not been to prison, okay, or people that haven't done a lot of time in prison, that's a perfect example of somebody who he's saying he's totally innocent. He addressed in the beginning, and he'll address him again. I know two people have reached out to me and said they love Benny. They support what he's doing. They were there, and he's not innocent. Okay. I've told Benny that. And I've said it on the show because I can't not say that, right? I can't. It would be wrong. So, but there are people, at least a couple thousand, that totally understand what he's saying. All right. So I'm gonna let Benny speak as long as Benny can. We'll see how long that lasts in the feds. Okay. One of the things that he's doing is he's ripping apart the prison that he's at. And I kind of gave him some advice about that because I used to write from inside the walls. They never wanted me to identify the prison, name staff members. You had to be vague on certain stuff. For example, I couldn't say I was at FCI Terre Haute. I'd have to say a federal prison in Indiana. Okay, so there's only a couple, the USP and that other one, so people would know. So they gave me that leverage or whatever. Leverage is the wrong word. But anyway, so Benny right now is at Hazleton FCI. They're having a lot of problems with lockdown. They just got locked down after that phone call. I think somebody got caught with the phone. He sent me the message. But the exhibits, I'll probably post them. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. So the ones I'm really interested in is the court documents. Now, he did 80 something pages, so we'll see. But again, I've had so many people reach out to me. There's people that only watch this channel because of Benny, like that watch nothing else. When's Benny coming back? When's Benny coming back? Shut the fuck up about drugs. Shut the fuck up about prison. When's Benny coming back? So that's what it comes down to. So I do apologize to the guys, the people that don't know. Okay. I thank you, Jeff, and everybody else who, Jeff, first of all, you told me about the bottom of the phone, right? I remembered somebody putting a microphone in or whatever the deal was, but you're right. It's the bottom. And as a matter of fact, I can go back and 2 years ago, and I think I was told to do that, and I forgot about that. So hopefully we can get that right. But the phone does end up staticky a lot, just in the institution. Let me go back and hit this idiot up real quick. There's a couple things I do want to say. Okay, no, Doug, sounds like a signal cell. And I'm going to go, yeah, for sure. Been bad forever, bro. Yes, Mike, PayPal works, bro. Doug, by the way. We had some good calls before. We're going to get them. No. Brad, don't even trip. I put myself in that spot, so I'm going to answer this dude in a minute. Yeah, you're right. If the cell phone does, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the call's over. I just don't know where I put it. That's all. So I don't want to sit there and run around. And then also, I don't want the dogs to wake up. That's why I don't want to go run around it. Right, I'll keep fighting the good fight, Benny. Yes, it is the prison system. Benny will be begging Mike DeBella for money. No, he won't. Mike will probably just offer. Look, Mike will probably just send it to him anyway. That's how he is. Did Carmine? No, Carmine Persico did not drink hooch. He did not. Okay, Aladente. So, I got to go back to this dude. This dude would be so filthy on the world, especially Costa Nostra, because he seems some of these dudes. That's it. That's it, Brad. It's it. So Benny was unique because those mob guys, most of them hated him. They hated him. Some of them were jealous because he was the guy on some things. Oh, I got to go look. Okay, I'll look. Yeah, okay, I got you, Brad. And you made some funny comments. Okay, so I'm going to go back to still struggling. So still, I want to say a few things. I'm going to address some things right now, as a matter of fact. Okay, number one. Let me do something here real quick. And you know what? Brad, you said, come on, no judgments. Let me tell you something. I put myself in the situation by talking about my life so openly. So I don't blame this idiot. Oh, fuck. Okay. So I do want to say something about still struggling real quick. Where is this guy at? By the way, were you the one that said I deleted comments? A couple people do. Obviously YouTube takes some stuff down because I went back and I was having it was one of those days and I had like 15 messages with somebody back and forth. I can't find it. So either he took them off or YouTube did something. And my friend Rob left comments before and YouTube took some down. What's that? So I was looking for still struggling because I want to show you every comment this dude makes, by the way. But then I want to address something. So, okay, forget it. Again with that mafia BS. Still struggling. You're still struggling, by the way. If you're still struggling, why would you? So let's just say I'm twacked the fuck out right now. Why wouldn't you say, hey, give me a call, let me help you out? If that's what you truly believed, but it's not. We'll address it. Anyway, who cares about Benny Geritano? Look at the numbers in 2 days on this. I'm going to say it'll hit 2,000, okay? So about 2,000 people from New York. And if you go to my analytics, which you probably can't see, or maybe you can, I don't know. If you go to the analytics, you'll see it's all New York people, okay? That's the ones who really want to hear. And did you see there's a couple of people that said this about Benny? Okay, so that answers the question first. How about the drug addiction content? What about the drug addiction comment? Not ready yet because you can't preach what you don't practice? Okay. You know that I have people right now, and I've said this, counseling that want me to go to work. Okay. I can go. I'm going to give you an example. And this goes in with addiction. This just happened. This just happened. My demons are alive and well. They have been since May the 31st, alive and well. Okay. Now, this dude, this is where I want to go with this. This dude's still struggling. I want people to, you can say, yes, there's no hard feelings right now, nothing. Your jaw is dancing, by the way. He's insinuating that I'm on methamphetamine. Brad, you said something a couple weeks back or whatever. That's why I made the comment at the beginning. You said maybe I looked a little something or, whatever. Totally sober at the time. Right around the corner, something happened. A day after you did, my former person I was married to said at the end of the phone call, don't do drugs. Didn't do drugs. I drank. But this guy wants to go to the methamphetamine. This guy wants to say I'm on meth right now. Not wants to say it. I don't know if he believes it or wants it to be like that. I'm not sure. Meth is not an issue with me. Gambling is what rocked me during, well, one can say rock, one can say did fabulous, whatever you want to say. I did relapse. I said that I want to talk about June. There's two things I've said about June. That it had to happen in my life. That June had to happen. And I stand by that 100%. Now, something else I said. I can't get into it. Not because of me. Not because of me. And there's another issue. There's a couple of the problems going on with that. Not because of me. I have no problem saying certain things. Matter of fact, I was talking to people. I talked to two guys earlier, and they're telling me to go on, you do the video, do the live now, tell your viewers exactly what you were saying tonight to us. They want me to do it now. My hands are tied over it. I can say this this is what I'll say. No probation officer. I was going to say no shame to my game. I can't say that. So there was disappointment. There was disappointment. However, I'm fucking tired of crying. I'm tired of tears, right? And I made some really, really good moves with some really, really bad moves that I made. The bad moves was the gambling. If you guys don't know, gambling has been destroying my life. It wasn't drugs that took me out. Drugs were central. Alcohol, drugs, gambling took me out. Gambling fucked me off in 2022. Sold the house and gambled it within 24 hours, basically. Made $125,000, 125, spent it. That's the kind of sick gambler I am. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do this right now for struggling. That wants me to be on methamphetamine for some reason. How come you didn't bring up opiates? How come you're not asking me if I'm on Suboxone right now? Why would you go to methamphetamine? You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because methamphetamine is seen as a southern, toothless, degrading, disgusting thing. And you want to get me as low as the rung as possible. That's what it is. You got a lot of guys out of New York that'll say, this dude from Oklahoma that's all methed out. That's what they'll say. Or junkie. They'll think of the idea of a junkie as somebody that's walking around the streets of New York with a needle hanging out of their arm. Or that's homeless. That's their definition of junkie. Okay? That's the stereotype. Still struggling, wants me to be that meth guy. He wants that really bad. How come you didn't bring up Suboxone first? How come you didn't bring up marijuana? Why did you go with jaw popping? is what I'm saying. So let me get into this. I can't get it. I literally can't say a few things. Let me give you dates and times. Now people popped up in the comment section. Fucking Rosso. I knew it. He was fucking junked up. Blah, blah, blah. Watch this. Hold on. Stick around. Stick around. Hold on. Let me get this. Let me get the date. Let me get the calendar so I don't fuck nothing up. Okay. May. When did that kid come? Okay. So it was actually May the 30th. I've been saying May the 31st. Friday night, May the 30th, 11 o'clock. 11:04, as a matter of fact. After 11 o'clock, I get a phone call from somebody, friend, around down here that said, hey, take me to the casino and I'll give you, I think he said $200 at first, or 100, 200, whatever it was. I said, dude, I don't want to go to the casino. I don't know what's going on with me and so tomorrow. I had been spending weekends with somebody, okay? But we had a text war, so I wasn't sure where it was going to go. So it's 11 o'clock at night. I was going out early on the weekends, staying out all day. I was waiting to see if I got a message or a phone call. I did not. So here, still struggling. Go ahead, put the comment up. You're making an excuse. There's your excuse. I went to the casino. I got $40. Mike DeBella, you live in Vegas. You hear this shit all the time, only in a lot bigger numbers. We're talking pennies here, okay? Went to the casino, May the 30th, 11 o'clock at night with $40. I found myself up $8,700 within a couple hours. 87, never hit a single jackpot. Hear me, never hit a single jackpot. Why? I'm banned from all the casinos. I'm banned from every one of them. Been living in them. Not going to get into how that all works out, but never hit a jackpot, $8,700. What do I mean by that? Never had them where they had to come give me a W-2 form, whatever. All small, everything under $1,200. $40, $500, $500, $800, whatever. Within 2 days. No, stop. That's not how it happened. Let's get into the whole. 2 days prior to that, so like on Thursday, I had doctor's appointments in Fort Smith. There are people at the doctor's office and one of the utility companies that follow my YouTube channel, okay? Follow it because they used to know my ex-wife, they knew her, they followed the channel, okay? Asked about what was going on in my life. I told them, blah, blah, blah. They said, do you want to go out with us this weekend? Now, I'm not talking about going out with somebody. Like that wasn't asking me out on a date. Do you want to go out? Now, these are normal people. Somebody's told me that I can never be around normal people, that I don't fit in, that all I want to do is hang around people that are degenerates because it makes me feel better. So I've been told that, right? So, and instilled in my brain. Okay. I knew where they were going. Never thought twice. When I was offered, I never was even thinking about going, to be honest. I wasn't. Plus, I was going out with somebody every weekend, and that occupied my time. So I go to the casino, and within 2 hours, so by 1 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't up 87 yet. It was like 57, I think, actually. I jumped to the blackjack table. And there's where I showed my ass. I used to have drug money once upon a time. And, the whole Big Willie thing. So it wasn't like braggadocious and being Big Willie, but the people that asked me out and friends of theirs. So groups of people so there was 4 boyfriends, friends, probably a dozen people altogether. They see me at the casino. I'm at the blackjack table. I'm 100, 500 a hand, whatever at that time, hitting. Little crowd gathering around, right? Again, this isn't Vegas, this is Oklahoma, right? Total different thing. Let me finish this real quick. Total different issue. I just wanted to get somewhere. Could you check your PayPal? I will. Doug, check the PayPal. Okay. All of a sudden, of course, what goes up must come down. Lose, okay. And let me be clear. I don't like winning. I like losing. Let me put that out there, okay. And I know that. I've known that now more than ever. So I've got the crowd, okay. $1,000 ham, boom. $1,000, boom. I feel it crushing. The waitress is right there. By the way, I'm buying drinks because I'm Big Shot Willie. I'm a person that barely makes money, paying my bills every month. Like really, like the trajectory of my YouTube was just paying off my bills where I don't have to get anything from anybody, and can buy my food without food stamps, which they denied me anyway. And here I am buying the bar. Well, buying 10 people, a dozen people, whatever. When I lost, I got a Coke. I got a Coke twice for myself. When I hit, I lost $2,000 hands back to back. I think it was 2,000. Like I felt the wind, the sails get knocked out of me. And I looked at the waitress and I said, "Hey, put a little Jack in that Coke." It's exactly what I said. One of the girls who was buzzed, to say the least, busted out laughing and said, you said on YouTube that if you relapsed, you're going to do it on YouTube. And I winked and I said, stick around. Stick around. Matter of fact, you come down, we'll go on YouTube together later. Not asking her to come down, the group, which they did. But by the time left, and I said, you know what? As a matter of fact, forget the Jack. Give me a glass of Crown. Hit the Crown. Tequila shot as I'm playing. I left that night with 87 is what it was. 8700. When we're leaving, one of the girls walks up to me and said, "Hey, can you get any stuff?" Now that's something I've thought about a lot since then. The convict, dope fiend, the junkie, the YouTube guy knows my history. They were drunk. They didn't mean it in a bad way. Can you get some stuff? Well, I had been in the high roller section, of course. There's one machine I play, and I know it won't ding out over 1,200. It doesn't matter why I know that. So there was two people over there. There was a black guy that was fresh out of the 80s G Money. Okay. Obviously he was a drug dealer. And then there was two guys that were doing well selling methamphetamine, obviously, because they had leather jackets and no teeth. And they were spending $100 at a time. So I don't know them. I peeped them. It's obvious. Okay. Been there all my life pretty much. So I say to that girl, I say, "Hey, go ask the dudes." The black dude left. So go ask the dudes in the jacket. You're a girl. She's a pretty girl. The dudes are going to hook her up. I wasn't. They said, "Can you get any stuff?" Okay. I'm used to Arkansas, methamphetamine. That's the drug down. That's all around here. Coke's making a big comeback. She came back and she said, "Ew, ew, they have meth." And I go, what were you talking about? She said, "Coke." And I said, "I don't know." About that time, a pillar of the community. These people have good jobs. A pillar of the community who's with these people says, "You live by such and such, you live down so and so. Yeah, I can get some cocaine down there." Told me what blew me the fuck away, first of all, because I actually know the whole trip. I was floored when he said, "Ooh, what?" Long story short, a group of people came down to my house. A group. I got alcohol poisoning because I haven't drank. Not only that, they had the pot nowadays. Let me say something about marijuana nowadays. It's not your grandfather's marijuana. I remember taking a couple hits. I remember this whole fucking house stinking for 3 days, is what I remember. I took a hit and got the spins like a kid, okay, like a high schooler. There was coke coming, okay? Now I want to say this about cocaine. I did cocaine from the age of 15. I did it for a minute, stopped, didn't do it 16, 17 to 23 years old. I probably missed 90 days. Snorted. You guys hear that? Whistle in my nose because the hole in my nose. The way I used to do cocaine is when I wanted to stop, I overamped. I do a big line, I fall asleep, probably due to some ADHD type of reasons. Okay. That's why on opiates, still struggling, I zip up. Meth. Well, I have to mix it. I can never do meth by it. I have, especially when yard work was involved, but I always had to mix everything to make meth feel good. The idea of doing the coke did appeal to me, especially with a group full of people. So, and that's a party drug. But I passed out. There was a bag of marijuana left here. Okay. And I went to bed at like 8 o'clock in the morning. At 10 o'clock, I got peanuts stuck in my teeth. My jaw's popping, still struggling. 10 o'clock in the morning. Somebody was knocking on my doors, but I didn't hear them. And next thing I know, somebody's in my window. And I remember looking up and seeing 3 people. It's not funny, but it is. You know what? It is what it fucking is. I've been anyway. I remember seeing 3 person. Fuck it, it's my ex-wife. I don't care. Marta. We were hanging out all the time. Well, we were doing good. I open the door. She sees me, doesn't like, sees the, I don't know. We haven't talked to this day. So I don't know what the fuck she saw. I know I was naked. A big, hairy, sexy, fat man, whatever is what she saw. I know I was naked. Pretty sure, yeah, I was naked. Open the door. She said something about I went and got her what she wanted. And this is what I remember. I remember slamming the door in her face because as I turned, I projectile vomited. And I didn't want her to see me vomit. The cameras would later show that she looked in the trash can. This has nothing to do with Marta, by the way. The trash cans and the cameras would show that she was looking in the trash can, probably for alcohol stuff. But I'm sure the marijuana smell threw her off quite a bit too. I woke up that night, Saturday night, head pounding. The first thing I thought of was that I wasn't going to get to be, I was not going to get to chair a meeting. That was the first fucking thought that ran through my head. I was not going to be able to chair an AA meeting. I had not started going to AA and NA as of yet. I had made that clear. I talked openly about that. I'd said that I needed the program. I know who my sponsor is. I have people calling from a certain place wanting me to go to work being a counselor. I said, I fucking can't believe I made it past a year. Although, because I did Suboxone in prison, even though it was legal, I still never felt clean. Because when I came out, to me, Suboxone's not clean. It's not. I know that people argue and push back. That's your preference. That's a choice. To me, it's not clean. It's just not. But I get it that it saves lives, that it has. So I woke. It was nighttime, and I thought about the gambling, and then I thought about, okay, so if I go back, is this drinking thing? So I'm literally had alcohol poisoning. So some of the people are medical professionals. So literally had alcohol poisoning. Go back to the casino, lose 3,000. So I had like 50. So I had like, so I had 87. So I had $5,700. Lost $3,000. Now I know. I'm going to tell you this right now. I knew that was so March the 30th, March the 31st. So June the 1st is Sunday. It was also when that kid that I knew went out suicide by law enforcement. If that's what really happened. If you guys seen the video I did about him and you've seen the way I acted, it's because as I relapsed, this kid was blowing up my phone. That's not to say that I could have saved the kid. That's not to even say that he was calling me for help. No, he called me over like 15 times. So it was like, okay, boom. So these aren't excuses, people. This is exactly the chain of events that happen. I believe in context, not to make up excuses for why I use it, because I don't really give a fuck. I'm not on probation no more. I give a fuck about. You said something about helping people, preaching people. That's what's fucked up, because I'm really effective. as I helped the lady walk out of the casino 2 weeks ago because she had a gambling addiction, and I lectured her on gambling addiction, and she thanked me because I'm a whack job. And I was in there gambling, preaching the evils of gambling. Okay. So anyway, that was off the subject. I went back the next night and won again. This is what I did in my mind. I said right then and there, I'm gambling in June, period. June, I'm gambling. This is what I'm going to do. I have always said to myself, lied to myself, maybe. I've always said that I can be a paycheck gambler, that I can hit and walk. I can't walk, first of all. But here's what I did. 5,000 became zero in my head. I am broke, people. At that time, on May the 30th, was the first time that I had money in my savings account. I had $2,000. I was doing legal assistance, okay? Very proud of myself. Still eating frugally rice and bean type of shit. Although I was able to pay for some lunches with me and Marta, a couple of them. But gonna get it together. Got $2,000 in the bank. That's a big fucking deal to me, okay, right now. $2,000 in the bank, not spending it. That's going to be my backup. So I was going to do the backup account first, save 3 months worth of saving expenses, then go try to save, pay bills, pay people, whatever I owed, right? That was my whole plan, my whole game plan. I had $2,000, $40 started this off, $40. So 5,000 went to zero. Do you know? So I topped off. So it doesn't even matter. So through the month of June, and it wasn't every single day, by the way. It wasn't every single day. There was days I walked in, and what happens in casinos, especially when you play slots, and slots is predominantly what I do play, which is a stupid man's game, but whatever. That's what I play. If there's not a bunch of people, the machines are less likely to hit, I do believe. Okay. So I'm looking for crowds. The crowd, especially later at night, there's 3 machines I play. That's what I play. That's what I win on, and then I go lose it playing other stuff. So I got up. So I topped out about 20. I had notes to myself. I've got taxes to pay by the October the such and such. I got this person to pay. I'm going to give this person so much. I think I want to get a car. I think I want to get a 4-wheel drive, and I'll do this. Or do I want a side by side? This is all going through my head, right? This is what happens. I started realizing that when I went in and walked out, because there was winning streak. When I would win and walk, depressed, sad, depression, didn't want to leave, didn't care about winning, but I was on a fixed goal. Also, I came up with a theory, and you can put your comments in here, about sports betting when I was in prison. Actually sat groups of people down and taught them the theory that I came up with. That theory I tried to put into practice while I was in prison. I had somebody put some money up to back up this theory. I started the theory, but then I started gambling. I'm an under and over freak when it comes to basketball. I'm really good at under and overs, okay? I saw an under and over I liked, won the first time, then boom, 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 fucked my whole theory up. So I'm going to start going back to my sports betting theory as I'm doing this little gambling thing, doing well. And then, got urges to do drugs. The first week, I got to go back. This ties into still struggling. Did cocaine twice. Thought about meth, thought about fentanyl, started feeling the opiate come up, ran straight to the Suboxone clinic, straight to him, and I told the psychiatrist, I said, listen, here's the deal. I need to be put on Suboxone right now. Okay, did you do the shot? Yes, I want strips. Why do you want strips? Because I want to get high off of them. I'm going to misuse them for a week. Exactly what I said. She looked and she said, what? And she said, why? And I said, because it'll last 3 days. It'll work for 3 days. Then I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to get a shot. That's exactly what I did. Got high. Well, I mean, I felt it. Yeah, for sure. Smoked marijuana for about 2 weeks. I had that bag. Smoked pot for about 2 weeks. Marijuana makes me become marijuana. I just sit. I don't do anything. I go, duh. That's what I do when I smoke weed. And that weed today is like some kind of off-grade heroin. Makes you sit around and do nothing. So there was 2 weeks. People said something about me, my eyes, and this and that. Some people said about speed. 2 weeks. So go back and look at the videos, the ones that there are from June the 1st until about the middle of June. You'll see different things in my eyes. Oh, my time, because my schedule became up at night, sleep all day. That's what it became. Add this to the mix as well. Let's take the gambling, the drugs, the alcohol out of the thing. I started hanging around people that are normal people. I used to belong to a country club back here in 1992 and 93. I came back and I sold cocaine to all the doctors and the lawyers back there. That's the truth. As a kid, got into the country club because I had connections, but they all loved my first wife. You guys think I had a pretty set? You think Marta was pretty? My first wife was beautiful as well. I mean, of course, there was an age difference. We knew each other since grade school. I had a really, really pretty first wife as well. So, all the doctors and lawyers were hot on her ass, so they always were inviting us everywhere because I was a coke dealer, because they liked my wife. That's the truth. Okay, let's just call it what it was. So this is what happens, and this is I made a comment about this the other day, and I said this: gambling gave me a false sense of security. When I was up that money, fast, easy money, whatever you want to say, no different than drug money, by the way. And back here, it's kind of looked at as the same way. I hated walking out of the fucking casino, and I was sick every time that I did with money. It made me feel there was no satisfaction in it. I wasn't getting the dopamine releases in my brain, is what it was. Okay, I know. I mean, from a technological term, that's what it was. So, but here's what happened. So now I'm around people that there was somebody that did out of my element. Out of my element. Good folk. The good folk. When I had that false sense of security, even just a few $1,000s, and I'm talking 5, 10, whatever, I felt more secure about myself. When I'm around people that don't have a criminal record, that don't have a criminal past, and that are Fort Smith's upper echelon, whatever you want to say, I don't have no problem being around the people. But what also ends up happening is I talk a lot. Okay, I have no problem telling prison stories to people. I did, and this coincides with the losing. After I bit the dust, because of course, moral stories, I bite the dust. But one thing I had to do is I paid bills all along the way. Paid 2 months in advance. Smartest thing I did. I started feeling like I didn't want to be around anybody else. I started feeling less than, because that false sense of security from that gambling money gave me a boost and was able to be confident around people. Didn't care. I didn't feel like a criminal scumbag. I didn't feel like somebody that they all know the story. So there's people that told them the story. Then I would tell stories talking about the life sentence. First person in Arkansas to get life over drugs, blah, 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 went to Leavenworth, all that good stuff. So it's almost like there's a point where I also felt like I was like the circus monkey dancing for him as well. That's what I felt like after I started losing. Before that, I didn't care. I was almost, I'm a talker. I like talking. I'm a people person, right? But I did realize that there was a lot of awareness there. So I was really proud of myself. I was really happy, really, really proud of myself about running to the Suboxone clinic. It does take away urges for everything else. Alcohol absolutely does. Remember, I made that hooch? No desire, no urge. I had the shot. So I was doing weekly shot. Strips, shot, pill, which I didn't really do, but a few, shot. And that's what I've been feeling like shit for the last week or whatever, because my body's rid of that. Although I do have an appointment in the morning, actually tomorrow afternoon. I may go a different route with medication, not Suboxone, not opiate medication. I might try anxiety. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I did feel, even though when I ran, I said, listen, I want Suboxone strips because I want to get high. I'm going to misuse them. What do you mean, I'm going to do an eighth of a strip. That's what I told the people. I'm going to go do an eighth of a strip. I want to feel the warm, fuzzy feeling, and I don't want to do opiates, and I don't want to do fentanyl, and I don't want to get strung out on pills. And I'm having urges to, when I say urges to do meth, it's not meth. It's urges to do it all. So I was proud that I was able to do that. I swear to this day. And people might be writing in the comment section right now some trash shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't have a PO to answer to no more. I don't have a wife to answer to no more. Yes, I fucked that up, and people can say all that. You fucked your marriage up. I'm not crying over that no more. I'm done shedding those tears. I've apologized all I can. I'm sorry that she saw me in a relapse, but she doesn't want to do whatever. So other stuff took place that I can't talk about. That's very important to this conversation. And I will be talking about it. Maybe as soon as 2 weeks. Maybe it's going to take a little longer because there's some shit going on that that's not cool. That to deal with as a result of all that. But none of it in a bad negative way. None of it whatsoever in a bad negative way. Let me tell you what else that's happened to me during the month of June. Good, bad, or indifferent. Relapse, fucked up. Rob's never going to change. He's a junkie motherfucker, whatever. I finally made this house my own. I look at this house now. I'm not waiting on my ex-wife to come back. And again, and if Marta, I don't even think she watched this no more, but if she does, this has nothing, well, actually it could be everything to do, really, when I think about it. But this isn't any criticism or critique. Girls, great girl deserves way better than me, deserves the best. Great girl. Fucked it up. I'm not going to fucking cry over it no more. It is what it is. I'm done. Moved on. I was, for the first time, sad about it last night because I was in Fort Smith, and I stay out of Fort Smith as much as possible. I do all my shit in Oklahoma. That shopping and Walmart and all that other stuff. There's Fort Smith and there's Poto, Oklahoma. I stay on the Oklahoma side most of the time. But I have finally been able to look at my house, the situation, and this isn't a house for me and my wife or anybody else. This is my house. That's my yard. That yard I'm fucking proud of, not drug related. I go out there and I get little things done at a time, and it fucking looks awesome, and I'm proud of it. I've already got starting in on this house, little shit that I do. I needed June to get out of that woe is fucking me. I'm such a this, I'm such a that. Done, moved on. And that's why I said June was necessary. Now, yeah, I'll talk about it as soon as I can. I'll talk about it. No problem. None whatsoever. But there is, and the people that I've talked to, they know what I'm talking about. And they would agree with me on this because, yeah, I made a comment about it. Let me see before I start looking at the comments section, because God only knows whether that's going to say and whatever. Damn, I don't even know. I'm trying to really, because I don't know where shit. I don't know how to say it. That's all it is. That's all it is. And it's actually, that's another thing I got out of my system too. I've been half cocked since I went back to prison. Never been like that. Never. I'm not a street fighter. Never have been. Prison, I show up. I've got lucky since 1997. Let's put it that way. But a couple times since I've been out, but I didn't even realize it. I was with somebody someplace one time, and there was this guy that just got out of. You can tell he was done time in prison. He was drunk. He was at that. If you guys seen the short that I put out the other day, which I thought was actually released 5 or 6 weeks ago, it's about that cruise night. There was a dude at cruise night that was drunk, And I seen him going to each person, and he'd stop and he'd stare him up, and he was trying to start trouble. And I seen him coming, and as soon as I did, I sized him up. I knew where I was going to hit him because I thought he was going to say something stupid. So I've never dropped somebody one shot knockout punch like did that, you know? And again, I don't even know where all that. Well, I've been like that. So I'll stick up for any damsel in distress. True shit. I cannot stand when guys will do something to a girl in front of me. Harass, pick on, punch, pull, whatever, you know? I was at an AA meeting, NA meeting, and there was all these fucking, excuse my language, 20, 30-year-old yoked boys up in there. And there was a dude in there that had mental illness, and he was grabbing the girls' asses. He followed two girls outside and was grabbing different parts of their body. And they came running back in during the meeting and said what happened. And I was already building because I'm looking around the room saying, man, one of these guys got to do something to this dude. I'm on probation parole. I'm the oldest dude in the room. I'm 54, 53, whatever. These dudes nobody's over 35. They're all, and seriously, they're all like gym guys, you know, a little bit of sobriety under their belt. They go to the gym instead. And I end up being the one to fucking deal with this dude. I had him in a chokehold. I was getting ready to hit him. And then I got yelled at for it. Then then it was like I was the villain for doing that. And a situation just happened again. And I'm not the villain. I'm not some kind of hero. I will say this. It felt really fucking good. It felt so. I'm not gonna lie. I watched somebody fucking crumble who deserved it, who never saw me. But he knows. He knows now, and it's a problem. And it's a problem for him. So that's why I don't want to get into it. I made a comment on one of my shows. If anybody's hip, I might catch it. I'm not gonna confirm or deny it. I made a comment about it recently. I made a comment. It's even worse than I thought. But yeah, so that's really what went on in June. What else? What do I have to add about that? Well, there is a whole different part, but as far as drugs and alcohol, Suboxone, so the shot's been wore off. Like I said, I got to go tomorrow at 4:00. Haven't had Suboxone works for other drug cravings. It really does. And there is a part of me. There's this little voice in my head that says, maybe stay on the shots for a little while. There is. But to me, it's not clean. It's not, you know, pot, marijuana. I just become it. I can't do nothing in moderation. I can't. So I just become. I wake up, I smoke. That's what happens. So it's so counterproductive. And also I will say this too. I came up and I made a comment about it. And this is going to be, I'm not showing people, I'm not talking. I will only say that I'm on a beast mode as far as writing right now. I came up with an idea for a book that's about drugs addiction, of course. And the day that I did was, so I drank twice, and then I had a talk and whatever. And I shouldn't poo-poo it and downplay it. I'm just saying. But the Suboxone, like I said, it takes it all. It took it all away. And I had a friend. He's probably gonna watch. I just spit the peanut out that was lodged in my tooth. And he has been just adamant about me staying on. He's been on for like 6-7 years. And I still am convinced that that one day my demons will go away. I don't know. There it is. So still struggling, and the other people that have. So I've got this team of people. There's these commenters. that I give too much time to. I know. It's part of my immaturity. That are obsessed with saying it's the same story. It goes back to the fact that people have tried to dig up shit on me in the past, try to come out with like these skeletons in my closet, and there's none. I put them out there. If somebody was to find something that there's nothing I haven't forgotten. It's so they have to go to predominantly they use the meth thing, junkie, ex-wife. I fucked up my wife. Somebody just said I'm losing my house now. I'm gonna lose my house. Somebody today just said that I was still on this shit. I'm gonna lose my house. I'm losing this and that. Yeah, look, anything's fucking possible. I'm Captain Chaos. I sabotage my own life. I do. I'm a sabotaging fool. And let me tell you. Oh, by the way, that money that I had saved up that I actually earned and did stuff for, it's a big difference when you actually earn money as opposed to being given, or if it was drug money like in the past. Big difference when you actually do some work for it and then go blow it at a casino or blow it in general. The YouTube since I've got out, and scratching. I got to spit this fucking bowl. Excuse me. Since I got out, just making it. Like I wouldn't freaking dream of bringing that like to a casino. But anyway, so let me go back. I traveled, went back to a stomping ground where it started. So in 1997, if you guys have followed me, you'll know I've told the story. I was in Lady Luck Casino in Tunica, Mississippi. I hit $100,000 jackpot. There was like 80 something after taxes. I actually paid taxes on it back then. For some reason in 2022 and 23, when I was doing the casino thing, I decided not to pay the taxes off the winnings. And I have $200,000 worth of winning slips right now that I haven't paid taxes on. I haven't filed taxes, and this will be my third year. I have to get this done sooner or later. And but anyway, I went to that casino and I won. And this is actually part of my trial. When I went to trial in 1997 or 98, I was not a drug dealer. I was a gambler. My trial was not about drugs. It was about money. It was about Corvettes and my lifestyle. That's what my trial was actually really about. And, so I had all these, like, I'm a professional gambler. Prick on my forehead. So I hit that jackpot playing $5 machines at the time, which the max bet I think was 25. Played 3 machines at a time. Then I went to the $100 machines, and the max bet was 3 or 500. Played 3 machines at a time. Lost all that. Had 50,000 in my car. Got the 50,000 out of my car. Spent it. Had to call my mom. Used all the comp points that I had because I was part of the thing, and had to call my mom at 3 in the morning to get gas money, to wire gas money in Mississippi for me to get home. So there was a person that called me a junkie and something else, and it spawned an idea in my head, and I am on a writing thing right now. Hopefully this one will get done, but hopefully still can't promise, whatever. And I called some people that I know in the Rolodex, which is a media term for media contacts, and somebody paid me for this idea. This is after I crashed and burned, and I went to Tunica for the night, back to where I started from. Knowing. So the person who called me a junkie on YouTube, it was something else. He said something else. I forgot what it was now, but I brought it to her, and then she called me back, and she's like, "You know what? I want this. I want it. I like this. I like this idea. I'll pay you for it." I'm like, I remember thinking, yes, I need the money. I need the money, even though I was fortunate enough to pay bills ahead of time. Thank God I did. 2 months ahead of time on everything. So, I'm like, you don't have to pay me for it. Please, please, please. And she sent me $1,500, and I went to Tunica. And, look at the script. I hit before I lost. It's what always happens. I remember telling somebody that I win all the time. This is back in 22 and 23. I went all the time. And she said, paraphrasing, how much money you got in your pocket? Nothing. What do you mean you want to? Every time I walk in the freaking casino, I hit. But you have no money, Rob. You're broke. But I win. That's my justification. Same shit. And there's people that know this. So now what's happened now is there's people that know me that know that I just can't walk most of the time. Even though in June I did a pretty damn good job of walking, in the end, I just wasn't satisfied, and I had to go blow it. It's truth. It's like I could not handle. First of all, let me say this again one more time. That's not real money. It can be. There's professional gamblers. In my world, it's not. I can't wear two hats. Like I can't be the guy who is active in addiction, whether it's gambling, food, porn, Suboxone, methamphetamine, and I can't go preach to people. I have been able to walk people suicide stuff, but I don't feel good. People have told me, Rob, go work at the juvenile center. It's going to help you stop. It'll help you get sober. Rob, go do this. This will help you. I couldn't. I can't. But again, the other day at the casino, there was a lady who she's for sure like retirement. You can tell that her and I'm assuming husband have money, and she was high rolling it and blowing chunks, and you can see the misery in her. And I said something to the effect, I said, and this is a story that I tell over and over again, a guy in prison, I didn't say a guy in prison, there was a guy in prison named Toke from Connecticut. And he recognized my gambling patterns and gambling habits. And he said, Robert, you don't gamble to win, you gamble to lose. You're addicted to the losing. And that it made no sense to me. It has made sense to me through the years, but it's even now more glaring because I was never able to go in there sober and look at what I was doing. Walk in as a means to make money and leave. I mean, I'd stay in there 20 minutes, man, sometimes. And when I'm talking about when I was aiming for at least 1,000, each time. But I every time I walked away, I just felt so fucking flat, And when I was crashing and burning, I felt alive. I felt alive. And that's another thing. I can't deny that I absolutely fucking loved the first night of being that fucking Oklahoma high roller, which means you don't have much money. DeBella, if you're still listening, is probably laughing his ass off. This dude's Vegas. They're talking about $1 million. I'm talking about fucking 100. I'm talking about hitting peanuts. Whatever. There's no denying that I was like in my element, so to speak. You know what I mean? Which is all a false sense of perception about your life. It's fucking, it's me. What am I going to say? It's great having perspective about your life. It is great knowing your flaws. It's great talking and adding context to something to kind of tell the story. And I'm going to answer some people's questions. I don't know when it's going to end or stop. I always hope, and I do believe over and over, I actually realize like I'm lying to myself over and over again. And if I'm lying to myself, then I'm obviously lying to others. And I'm fuck YouTube. Fuck you guys excuse me. I am appreciative of the support that I get, but I am saying in general. It's not about this. I'm saying lying to myself or lying to relationship, ex, family, relationship, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I realized that like a couple weeks ago. How am I going to ask a person to believe in me if I can't believe in myself? You know what I mean? No, it's not that I don't believe in myself. I do believe it, and I fucking lie to myself. That's what keeps happening. So it's fuck all you guys. Forget everybody else. I'm talking about why do I do it to me? Addiction, Robert. Addiction is a disease. Yes, addiction is a disease. Well, I've got this shit down pat almost. I mean, I got it down pat like the lady the other night when I sat there and told her the reasons why she keeps gambling, the dopamine releases. I talked about dopamine in her brain. I talked about that the stress that's what she was after. She wasn't after the winning. She was after that misery. And she cried and said I was right and thanked me. And I went and played some songs. See? Yeah. Whacked up. So the floor where I put this, you guys see this stuff bouncing around? I don't have this nailed down right. I got to do this. I said this a couple weeks ago too. But this is all this brand new plywood. This room was brand new. It's 2 years old now or whatever. But it's really unstable. This little area right here. Anyway, so yeah, so good. I got that out of my system. I'm free. I'm free of the of holding on to that. Like I said, I was gonna do this in a video format, and again, people today said something about doing it, but again, it'll be more clear with the rest of it and everything else tied into it. I did meet some people, and I was at somebody's house, and there was an assault there. Not I was in no wrong whatsoever. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. I will say that from now on, I am going to say this though. I'm not going to be Captain Save-A-Ho no more. I'm not. I'm not. This one taught me something a little bit, even though I loved it, even though it felt fucking great. This is a maggot. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I should not say that. He was having a bad time with whatever. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read your comment now. Anyway, and I'm glad the dogs are sleeping. They're not barking. All right. Are working out for yay. Okay. Looks like those strip. Hold on, zip. Okay, Benny. Strips are working out for you. Hazelton, that's no joke. That's Maxim. So he's in the FCI, Hazelton. Once in a while, having people as a guest, brother, are okay. Still struggling. Right on. Suboxone is a wonder drug. Big fan of Benny. Zip, hey man, I was on this about never agreed with me, but I had to go to the methadone program. I'm not used to anything since that day. I stopped. I cannot deny that it does work in a bunch of ways. Freedom was the devil in disguise, Rob, I believe. Freedom was the devil in disguise. Freedom as far as what? Dad doing good, sore, but ate dinner and already say, no problem, Travis. Quit calling me sir. Quit calling me sir, Travis. Fuck, you make me feel old. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not. I've been trying to get diagnosed as something. Oh, Rob, you want to know something? I'm way up north of Calvert, and meth is huge. So fentanyl and coke is still huge. To up here, rocked up. Really? So send him money, Brad. So is it you talking about me? Like send me money? I don't know what you're saying. Rob, this nut is getting exactly what he wanted, attention. Hey, but you know what, Brad? It's just like, for example, look, man, I needed to get this one out. I have, so it worked out. Just like the guy the other day who thought he was smashing me and got me a free trip down to Tunica, which, oh my God, shit's changed in Tunica. Shit has changed in Tunica. May the 30th, 8,700. Nice. Yeah, you can pay the property taxes. No, I've already lost it. Hit that sauce. Bot Ferrasso. This was May that just passed. No, May the 30th. June was the month that I had. That was I knew that night when I woke up afterwards. No, this is July. Yeah, I know what it is. We're talking May the 30th, the whole month of June, dude. Yeah, Doug, the whole month. So I even said like early in July that June, I just went through something. June. Well, it never really stopped because there was the 4th of July afterwards. And the fine people that I know, all successful, doing well, different, not different breed, so to speak. I'm an addict. Hello, my name's Robert, and that covers like the whole area. So I on the 4th, everybody was getting drunk. I made shine. Maybe FBI people. And I really thought I was going to do that. It sucked. No, not. It just the whole process. Didn't drink before. No problem. But I did go. To. I've been back to a casino since that point, and I can't say. So there are people that know me well that want to bring me to a casino with their money and win and walk. There's people that literally are trying to bring me there and maybe pay some of their bills too, whatever. And this is what I've said. Great. And this is another point I need to really make. Here's the whole thing. The casino is bad energy. And I know that gets kind of like way out into it's bad energy. Again, I'm going to say it again. The most simplest thing we can talk about Carl Jung, whatever. Watch him. I watch philosophy and psychology videos every day, still, right now. Have been. It all boils down to the simplest thing ever. The Native Americans have it so right. Forget the Catholics with the angel and the devil. We can talk about Mazar's, whatever hierarchy of needs. We can do all that. Have two wolves, a good wolf and a bad wolf. If you feed the good wolf, good things. If you let the bad wolf taste any bad energy, everything else goes kaput. Again, I cannot stress enough, and I will go in deeper that I wanted so badly to go when I started going to AA and NA again, if and whenever, to chair a meeting. That was like a big thing, and to go in and get a year chip. I dreamed of it, man. I've mentally been there. I mentally have walked into the place that I know I'm going to go that hasn't seen me and say, I have, well, it's again, it was hard for me to ever say I was clean because to me, Suboxone's not clean. So, but alcohol, meth, like I really, that sucked. That sucked. Like I don't know. Then again, I also know other counselors and people that say don't do sobriety dates. Subconsciously, you do it anyway. I can, so, but even going, just the idea of the casino, it's really, even if it's legal money, it's really no different. At the end of the day, I crave the chaos and the misery of losing it all for some sick effing reason. I do. It's been so, I've been so attuned to it. It's like disgusting. And it's like, as the month of June was going and getting closer and I still had money, it was like, I still have this money. I mean, it wasn't like I was looking at it that way, but inside it's like, when am I going to blow it? And the worst thing about it is I did go into that fucking two grand that I got legally, and that hurt probably. That hurt. Well, did it hurt more than losing close to 20? I don't know. I think it did, because like I worked hard for that, the legal stuff. So I've done 3 different legal things. One of them not very much, not a couple hours. The other 2 kicked my ass, and I actually way undercharged, way undercharged. And that's another thing. I'm not good at that either, because people can get me. All they got to do is sell me a sad story. Their family can call up and say, I've only got 500, but I really needed 5,000, and I'll fucking do it. It's stupid, man. It's like a dope, and I've said this many times when it comes to when I dealt dope, I fronted. To me, it's a credit makes the world go round, and the same thing with drugs. I'll front you, and you don't have to pay me. You don't have to pay me. I'm just not going to deal with you again. And that's not a good way to be a dope dealer. It always worked out for me because I had quantity. You know what I mean? In this environment, from what I can tell now, dope dealers don't, they're not like, I know people all walks of life. And you know what? I'm not ashamed to say that. I kind of like saying that. By the way, there's a CIA agent that has a YouTube channel, and he said some of his best friends are criminals, former criminals, or whatever, and relates to him. Because there's a part of me that started feeling bad, in part due to my old probation officer's boss, and maybe my former wife, that started making me feel like I was really a piece of shit because I still identify with criminals, and have a soft spot and stuff like that. But I don't see most people that committed crimes like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, that's getting off a little bit. Anyway, let me finish reading some of his comments. That was just May that passed. No, we're in July. Yeah, I got that. Can I get the stuff? Don't admit that. Whatever. I don't know what I admitted. I admit everything. Fuck weed, knock your ass socks off, rob me as well as I do opiates. I like speed. What the fuck in your windows? In my windows, what did I do? Yeah. Oh, what is in my window? That's the air conditioning unit. Is that, if that's what you're talking about? Oh, the camera turned more. Yeah. So I got essential heating and air conditioning. If that's what you're talking about, I have essential heating and air for this whole house, but the house, like, so it would be, if I let that run like I needed, if I was trying to air the whole house, it would be $300 to $350 a month, easy. This, I live like in 2 back rooms, and yeah, in the dark at night a lot to save electricity. Live frugal for sure. Proud of it, actually. Right now, from where I'm at, it's like $75 or something like that. Yeah, it's not shit. And I will say this: I haven't had a hot water heater. I got one. Traded an old I got a whole bunch of shit out here still. Scrap stuff, whatever. That had a leak in it, got a different one. And of course, right now it's the summertime and it's super, super hot, so you don't really even need hot water. So I've been boiling water on pants. I killed the hot water heater. I killed it. I don't even want the hot water heater right now. Maybe in the wintertime it'll change, Gas runs me like $30 a month. I'm telling you, you watch those videos about people that are looking to retire and go to Thailand, live best in their buck. This isn't Thailand, and you're not going to get the girls from Thailand here. You can get some 20-year-olds with no teeth that look 50, but hey, not everybody's perfect, but the cost of living is cheap, Again, but let me go ahead and add this while I'm talking about that. This place down here, bittersweet. I'm in it. I am very, like I said, I now have Robert Rosso's house and my Robert Rosso's peaceful yard. But I am very much aware still that this place is can be bad. It can be bad for people with addiction issues, and I'm not talking about meth. In general, I can go back to when I first moved back here, and my dad's friends and my dad's social alcoholic. They don't. There's not like a. That's what people do, you know. Because there's like not much to do down here. I am, to me, driving 45. Well, takes most people 45, 50 minutes to get to Fort Smith. It takes me 25 to 30 minutes. But and 4 deer have lost their life over that. But that's not far. I can driving. I can literally take off driving across the country. Drive. So driving to Tunica 5 hours, nothing. 10-hour, nothing to me. So driving is nothing. But there is again, going back to energy. Yeah, there's something down here that can be dark at times, especially in the wintertime, you know. I guess that can be anywhere, but yeah. Okay, crazy night. You seem to find them, brother. What drug are you on that makes you gamble the worst? That was sober. Okay, so I'm gonna go off a little bit, DeGosta. Here's the deal. I started sober. I got drunk. This was so okay. So I told you I smoked that bag of pot that was left down here. That was fucking. I don't even think it was pot. Whatever it was. That, by the way, you can smell outside for like 2 days afterwards. Crazy. But so stone Suboxone, but you're asking about it. The meth keeps me in the casino. So let's say I was doing methamphetamine. I probably would have not have been able to walk like I did, even though walking didn't make me feel good. Like I was on this trip to prove to myself that I can do this. No, it's more than that. I wanted fast money to come up. That's true too. I didn't aim for a certain amount. I didn't aim for a certain amount, you know. And I was surprised that I got as far as I did. Again, I never hit a single jackpot where ding ding and they had to stop the machine and never, not one. I was so scared I was going to too. Man, there was times I was so afraid. I can still get it. It's a process and I can't get into it. I can still do it. But if I was on meth, there's no way that I would be able to walk. You're glued, and there's a reason for that. The highest. Okay, so if we're going by scales, dopamine is everything. It's everything. Okay. The highest. So normal people that don't have addiction issues, nothing. Sex would be the biggest dopamine spike. Okay, for example. I learned this from the lady that wrote the book Dopamine Nation, okay, and from a professor from USC in a different video. Tied them both together. I think they said meth is 100 or 1,000 times more of a dopamine release than sex. Okay, add slot machines on top of that, because slot machines, all they're doing, the dings are releasing dopamine. There is a video that my ex-wife had of me in a casino winning. I hit like a $3,000 jackpot. This is when everything started to crumble around me in 22, 23. This was in 23 actually. It was after I went to rehab. It's after I went to rehab the first time is when I really, really bit the dust. The video I saw, you guys saw, some of you guys saw, whatever. And when I got violated the first time, there's a video of me, and it is the equivalent of me in a crack house on my knees searching for crumbs. When they were trying to pay me, I'm playing 2 slots. If I remember this correctly, I remember her showing me the video, and it was sickening, because they're trying to pay me, and I don't want to. I don't want to hear them. I didn't want the money. I wanted the dings. And yeah, it was hot meth. Yeah, and fentanyl. But I wanted the dings because it's about the dopamine release, which I didn't know at that time. So, what is the moral of the story? If you add sex for normal people being the highest release dopamine, meth for people that use meth, and then add the slot machines, what's the moral of the story? what would be the what would be the biggest dopamine release that we know that we can have? I have figured it out lately. It would be doing methamphetamine in a casino or going to the casino and getting a blowjob while you play slots. That's it. That would be it. That would be the mecca. That would be the biggest dopamine spike of all times. That would be it. So I'm thinking about starting a social club after hours that has slot machines and hookers and meth whores walking around with trays of meth. You guys want to come? I don't know why I say shit like that. I don't know. I don't know why I do. I don't know. But think about it. Think about what I just said. And you guys can go look at the lady that wrote the Dopamine Nation. Just type her name up, and she's done interviews. What was the channel? She did like a 2-hour interview with this guy. Fantastic. It was perfect. There's serotonin and blah blah blah, and we can get into all that. Just to break it down simple, simplest terms. It's about dopamine releases, and I have come up with the mecca of dopamine release. Robert Rosso has figured it out. I have solved the dopamine spike. I'm going to hell. I am going to hell. Sure. Anyway, Roy, it can be. I just bet yesterday, Ravens. Let me add that I started off in the little sport book thing, and I did exactly what I did last time. I have a gambling theory. I know. And I actually had somebody that knows computers run it in algorithms, because I was told by somebody that a mathematician this person knew said that my theory was impossible and stupid. And I needed to prove that wrong. But I did the same exact thing that I did before. I didn't use my little system. And I bet. But that's what I wanted, right? That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to lose. Okay. Pockets are full. You are a king. Taken to all empty pot. You feel like a loser around them good people. Is that your... Okay, stop. Let me see. Pockets are full. You are a king. Talking to all empty pockets. You feel like a loser around them good people. Is that your road you're on, brother? Doug, I'm missing a little bit, but I have to go back to that one. Wizard, let me see. Rob, you're doing a great job, buddy. Keep up the great job. Next door you open is going to the road to all the best to you. But thanks, Wizard. So look, Saturn retrograde, June. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's good, Rob. Good job. Yeah, Doug. Wow, huh? That talk about changes, huh? The positive changes in my life. What's up down there? What's up, bro? Okay, I gotta make tracks. 5 a.m. comes early. Rob, it's all part of being free of all strings. Now you're testing the water, and it's part of your life now. You were away 20 years, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. But listen, Gino, so my schedule has been like that. It's been totally screwed up. There's no subfloor. I am on the subfloor. So I'm got wood underneath me right now and throw some throw carpets, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I pulled the subfloor up. I pulled it up. But it was the first time I did it, and I did it wrong too. So it's possible I'll rip this up too. I've still got to do the foundation of the house, which is actually getting worse. But what I did was I bought like 10 sheets of plywood. It was 2022. And I did this, yes, drug induced. I'm sure of it. I can't recall, but I'm sure of it. And what I did was, my friend told me that I had to make. I did too many small cuts. So instead of laying big cuts out, there's too many little pieces. My friend Mike Miller, who's been on the show before, came down here a couple months ago, looked at this floor and said, tear it up, rip it up, start over. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, once you put, so the next layer of whatever, it's like this foam stuff, and then you put, the only reason this floor is not totally done right now is because the same hardwood or linoleum, whatever it is, they didn't have it. They didn't have it in stock. You got to order it, and that screwed everything up. That's why this floor is actually not done. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put carpet in the bedrooms. I think eventually. How that was on I had 2 pages of what I was going to do with money. That was down there next to passport and plane ticket after I paid a few people that I owe some money. Anyway, yeah, dream big, knowing inside the whole time. So you guys had made comments, said, Rob, you're doing good. You know what you just said, Doug. I thank you. But this is what I think when you say that, or just talking when I'm talking to myself, because really I'm talking to myself when I'm rambling like this. My judge said that he'd never seen a person reflect on problems or something like that like me. And therefore he couldn't understand why I couldn't get it right if I've got it kind of down. It's one thing knowing, it's another thing following through, you know. That's where I lack. And we'll see. But again, Doug, you made a really good point. This is the first time that I am totally free. I had a hard time with that up until June. I had a very hard time because really inside, my ex-wife did an incredible thing when I got out of prison. She came down here and forgave me so I can forgive myself. But we still had all the underlying issues. And being in the friendship zone, I'm too immature to handle. I'm too immature to handle, you know, because although we were hanging out as friends, there was still more there. But well, fuck, straight up, she didn't trust me. She was probably afraid that I was going to do exactly what I did. You know what I mean? Looking at it straight up. But I do believe that what was going on. I say I do believe. I'm like 100% sure of it. Always, I am waiting to get right so that we could have got back together. So it really was still. I couldn't get over the fact that I fucked that up, and I was still trying to salvage it. You know, that's really a lot of what was going on as well. I'm almost positive of it. And last night was the first time I was sad about the fact that it's weird to say because then it sounds like that I really haven't, but it's last night was the first time that I was like, wow, it's really that really is my past, you know. And I got down for about an hour, really about it. But well, shit, I didn't get to sleep much. I was gonna say then I woke up, shit, I didn't sleep. I slept a couple hours last night because the doctor told my friend that everything was okay, and then the hospital called him and it wasn't okay. And he's got a house with animals and stuff to do, and I had to go. I had to go help and stuff, you know. And yeah, what else? What else did I do today? The dogs, pretty much. I can't believe that they're in there sleeping and not barking. Yeah, there's subfloor. Hell yeah, Drake. Good night, dog. Night, dog. Have to go back to watch the first hour. Yeah. And keep going because I tried the tapes, it didn't work, but then these guys told me what to do, Rob, and it sounded pretty good. Ozzy Osbourne. I've made it a lot farther than he should have, right? I mean, yeah. Music icon. You're going to not know what's going on in a chat. We are talking on what you are talking. Okay, right on, bro. You had a good time, then okay, be good. Don't get carried away. And it's still like, oh, that's a good point too. At the end of the day, who said it? What's the lesbian girls? Went to the doctor. I went to the mountain. Take life less seriously. You should read some Carl Jung if you're into. So that's the videos I've been watching, not reading. And yeah, no, I'm not going to say that. Trump accused Obama of treason. Randy Savage. Trump accused Obama of treason. Does everybody believe that? You know what was Brenner, the CIA guy? You look at that guy, and he looked like a lying. You know, I do believe Obama was a puppet master. I do believe that so much of that was all such BS. And look at so much what they did. So much of what they did. You know, now Trump with this Epstein stuff, telling people they're stupid. There's nothing to see here. There's a lot to see there, but we're never going to see it. And it's not about Trump. If they would have had the goods on Trump through Epstein, like really, really had him, forget the drawing and the whatever that he's saying he didn't do, but I do believe he did. Ma'am, people want to know. That says a lot about us too. That says a lot about people that we were like so invested in wanting to know about the Epstein stuff when we should be worrying about food prices and gas prices and how many senators are stealing money. And look at what Elon really said about Doge. And you guys see that he says China will rise. China is going to be. I've been watching. He's got some really good motivational stuff too. Elon does, even though I do think at some point he is the evil comic, the evil cartoon villain or whatever. And he might take off. Like one day he's going to rip off. He's going to be Chinese or something. There's something about Elon for sure. But for Trump to just to say that the Epstein stuff needs to go away. Again, I go back and I say, Elaine Maxwell or whatever, does she deserve immunity? Does she deserve a reduction of sentence, which is actually like a Rule 35? Now, they went and talked to her. They said, does she? Absolutely. Why? Look at Sammy the Bull. Look at how many guys in New York, murderers, rats, whatever, killed people, and then they got like no time or less time, whatever. Same kind of idea. Assuming that they really will let us hear what she has to say and all that other stuff, you know? Yeah. I haven't drank a drop of alcohol in over 10 years, but in Maine, weed is legal and you can buy 7 grams at a time. You just have to be over. That's progress. The problem is I'm stuck in Florida. Rob, watch what you, okay, so now, Danny, I'll get there in just a second. I haven't drank a drop of alcohol. Okay, Rob, so you started smoking weed? You started smoking weed? Why do I find that hard to believe? I mean, I believe that you're saying that, but that doesn't, I don't think that matched you. I don't know. And really, this is off the subject. This guy right here, which I talk about often when he's in the chat, we did 5 years together. And you know, people that when I talk about me and addiction in prison and about how I used in prison and stuff, he never saw me as somebody that even used drugs. He knew that I started drinking because I had a brother that came in there and started making moonshine. But I sometimes paint this picture of myself as I was in prison as like my whole life was around just about junk and drugs. And it really wasn't like that. And I painted myself into that. And I wonder why. I don't know. And Rob, by the way, you said you're stuck in Florida. I got the email and I realized why you're there. However, you were in a blue state, Maine, liberal state, and now you're in a conservative state. When it comes to the drug stuff, except for Oklahoma, the conservative states, I was going to say, have a lot of it wrong. I think Oklahoma, it's like 21 grams of meth, heroin, whatever. It can be the officer's discretion, misdemeanor. I don't believe there's been an uptick. I'll get into the whole drug legalization thing. That's a whole nother thing. But you're probably the cost of living. I don't know. What is your cost of living there? Is it cheaper tax wise when you take everything in? Because you said you're stuck in Florida. You're stuck in the heat, is what you're stuck in. The humidity, which you're not used to because you're from Maine. But I don't know. Maybe it's not a bad thing. You should move to Arkansas. Danny, sensory overload. That's pretty good. Roy Con, the Trump weave. What do you mean? Roy, you can explain that when you say the weave. You might be right. I don't know. Danny, no. And I don't foresee it. You know what? He said, is Marta still in your life? So I said earlier in the show, we were hanging out, and she came down the day I relapsed. She came down the day I relapsed. And I believe that she thought that I probably did earlier too. And I think she probably still does. She said she was seeing signs in me. Last thing she said to me before that morning was, don't do drugs. Or I had behaviors of somebody on drugs or something, as did Brad here. Brad, that's what I was referring to earlier. We talked and you asked me if I was on it, or you thought that maybe I was. I wasn't. But maybe people can see things that I had. I wasn't feeling like that was about to happen. That was the last thing. I'm telling you exactly how that happened, but that's happened before as well. Relapsing through casino and alcohol and gambling. This isn't a first. I ordered 2 Cokes, bought everybody drinks. 1,000 lost, 1,000 lost. I remember just like, I felt like I was sinking too fast. I looked and I just said, can you add some Jack to that Coke? And she said, you said if you relapse, you said you're going to do it on YouTube. And I said, wait, and I said, stick around. We'll go home. I'm going to go back to the house. I'm going to do, I had intention of coming back down here at 6 or 7 in the morning and saying, surprise. I had it in my head. The surprise was that I wasn't used to alcohol, and I drank glasses of Crown, and yeah, like if I was doing it daily, whatever. Yeah, but okay. So anyway, well, this is what I want to say to that. What you're saying right here. I had a counselor tell me before to quit holding her hostage. I was so mad that he said that. To quit holding her hostage. And in some way, there was truth to that. And I think that I let my hostage go. And it needed to happen. Damn, watch, I'll get off here and I'm gonna like melt probably or something and be bummed. I mean, if it does come out. Yeah, no, there's still the it still sucks. I mean, but yeah, she's a phenomenal person and she's gonna do really, really good in life. She is. And yeah, that's the truth. Anyway, okay. Those fucking machines, by design, they hook you worse than the needle. You close your eyes, go to sleep, you see it, the flashing lights, and hear the crazy music. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, there's no, slot machines a fool's game. I can tell you that there are people right now that will tell you that. Oh, let me make this clear. It's not like I have not walked in and ate and bit the dust and like put money in and didn't win nothing. That's happened for sure. I win before I lose. It just, why am I frozen? Oh, did I freeze? Okay. I win before, and it just so happened that I started walking out not feeling well. Yeah, I didn't. All right. Let me finish this up. Is your sleep pattern like it was in the hole? I don't have a sleep pattern per se, man. I've tried. There's reasons. Again, June, it was because there. If you guys, there was a short I did one night, and I walked out and I said I was leaving, whatever. I was going out to the casino. I've went with people too, you know. It's not like but most of the time alone. Most of the time, and most of the time I'm there less than 30 minutes. That's what it was. That's what it was. A lot of time in June. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. The slots. You have hallucinations about the lights. Yes, you do. Be proud of what you accomplished, Rob. Down at Newark, I always rooting for you. You did what you had to do, and you're back out walking a straight path. God bless you. Thank you. Arguably, walking a straight path. I don't know about straight, not committing crime. Okay. Well said, Finn. Anyway, you know, that's my brother. You're still learning to live the free world. So am I, and I've been out 8 years continuous. Yeah. Life's dull, right? Without all these vices. Brad, no comment. No comment. Yo, what's up, Robert? I hope you're doing well. Me and my stripette. Yeah, bro, I'm doing good. Go back and listen to. You can find out the whole thing if you missed it. Rob, you can go way off topic, but after 50 minutes, you come back and answer the original question. I know, I try. I know, I veer off. I know, I do. When it comes to my videos, even though there has been less, and you guys now know why. In the last month and a half, I've tried to focus more on those. You know, starting out. I don't know if you guys noticed. I start out with like, you know, the topic or whatever. I learned how to splice some videos together. Johnny Mac, I did get your number. I know what you. So you were going to tell me more about videos, yeah. And I have somebody else that knows quite a bit about stuff. But I'm getting that down. I just consistency. The name of the game in YouTube is consistency. Go figure. You are not a narcissist, Randy. So many people have said that, and you know what? And if you guys follow me, you've heard me say this. I that title never even bothered me. I remember being, and again, this goes back to the first day of marriage counseling, and I drank methamphetamine for the first time in over 20 something years. That's how I used to do meth in 96 and 97. I drank it because I couldn't snort it because I don't have a nose, because I have a hole in my nose from cocaine, so it didn't work that way. So I drank it in coffee, and I remember my wife went first, and the whole body language and what she said, it just threw me off. And then I was coming on. It's not funny. It's not funny. I laughed. That's a nervous laugh. And I attacked the marriage counselor because she said, "Son, do I just detect a little narcissism?" I said, "Narcissist, whatever." That's what I said. Yeah, okay, I own it. But then I started actually looking at what a narcissist does. And you know what? If you want to, if somebody's trying to box you into being a narcissist or being this or being that, bipolar or whatever the case be, you almost anybody you can really put in a box like that. When you start going down to what a narcissist means, there's things that don't fit. Um, here's one thing that YouTube, I see this in a lot of content creators, but one of the things YouTube starts feeding. So I don't think I do. Maybe somebody can comment. I don't have a shtick. Maybe this is my. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, you see a lot of these YouTube guys. I'm speaking mostly of prison channels that have like this personality, this shtick about them, And JD Delay, I've said it. I've said it before. I said it in a video about him. He reminds me like the Hulk Hogan of the prison genre on YouTube, right? He's got like a shtick. Obviously, these shticks work because these guys all have really good big channels that are doing it. Okay, so maybe I'm missing something. But damn, I just lost my train of thought. There I go. What you're saying? Not a narcissist. The stick. Oh, what YouTube does, and I now realize that my judge is caught on and hated my probation, wife, family members. They see me in some videos, especially in the beginning, telling prison stories, and I think there's more of. So I'm both, everything all mixed up together. So, and then when I come out of rehab or I came out of prison, you see a person, you see somebody, I guess the word would be more humble. Okay. That would be probably the appropriate word. That is me. And then it used to be, or people would attribute it to my drug use. And so did I, where I come off as the FU or talk shit or roast people or feed into comments and do that. And then that's a different side of me. The arrogance, the condescending to some, the YouTube can do that. It's YouTube. I'm not saying that that's not somebody that's me. Oh hell, and Rob, and I hate to keep using you. You knew me for a long time. You were a sober person. You were not into the reindeer games. This guy. So I don't know if you saw the arrogant that side of me. I don't think that I was. So, and then I think a lot of times I do that, or I get in that frame of mind, which I maybe will tomorrow. I don't know. But I go down that I get into that, and that's the side that a lot of people might, like I said, judge, family members, ex that they hated. They like, why are you cocky? Why are you being arrogant? You make it seem like you're glorifying prison. Yeah, and that's I oh, the dogs are starting to bark. The dogs are starting to bark. Okay, I have to stop in a second. That means I have to go to the bathroom. Uh, okay, Roy, that's the only way. Okay, okay, good. It's pure luck. Those machines. I won 85 a few months back. Okay, listen, I don't mean to cut. They are barking. That means that one of them for sure with the weak bladder has to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's all I can say right now. Take care. And I'm not upset that guy said that and opened this up, because I did get this off, and I will be able to go back and fill in the dots at some point in time. But there's other things in people and stuff involved. That's all. Okay. Take care. Bye.